everybody, welcome to another Watchful Studio video regarding the Imperium magazine subscription. This is the second installment or second month of the magazine for the subscription that I signed up for. And even though it was a little bit delayed, I got an email from the company on a Sunday, and then ironically on Monday the magazines showed up. But they were probably about 2 weeks after I actually paid for the month. So hopefully they'll get back on track. But the purpose of this video today is I just wanted to give kind of an update of where I'm sitting. I had some slight delays this month. I actually changed jobs. Had a lot going on personally, so it slowed some things down. But I just thought I'd give a little update on the issues 1 through 3, and then move over to this month's issues of 4 through 7 and just kind of walk through those a little bit. So here is my update for my Ultramarines, and here is my Primaries Lieutenant, kind of the progress that I have made. We got a lot of the colors on that I wanted to, get where they were going. And, I got some touch-ups, things of that nature, and maybe even add in some line highlights. But for the most part, he's getting towards playable. And I'm trying to get these guys done as quickly as I can. So there's his update. And I'll talk about the basing here in a moment and why I went with what I did. So there's the Lieutenant. And then here is the progress of the Marines, the 3 Primaries Assault Intercessors. And I was working on base coating one of the Marines and kind of seeing where I wanted to go with the colors and the techniques and that kind of thing. So I'll walk through a little bit about where I've gotten with the armor. And then, of course, the black on the one Marine, as well as on the Lieutenant, it's that gray that you see on the grenades and the belt buckle and everywhere where I would actually basically paint silver. I use the same base coat for gray. And then I actually use the Black Templar's contrast paint and just gave it a wash, and it already looks like it's highlighted. It's not stark and crazy, but to get an army done on the table quickly using as few colors as possible, that was at least the concept. And the same thing with the eyes. I believe I painted them orange or yellow, and then gave it a contrast red paint, but we'll go in more details of that. So that's kind of the status with them. And I've used Games Workshop's textured paint on the base as well. And then eventually I'll paint that in that deserty color. So there's the Marines. And then here is the leader, which actually I'm forgetting the name now. And he is mostly done. He's probably the furthest along. And again, same desert style base. I'm going to go with the same theme. Played around quite a bit with the glow effects. And I'll go over how I did that in a later video. Because it took a few different colors and a few different attempts to get what I liked. But they're pretty generic. So there's the leader, and then the 3 Necron warriors that come in the set. And nothing fancy there. The armor's basically done. And again, it's just a simple base coat with a wash using a contrast Black Templar. And then I started going in with white on the areas where I'm going to do all the glow effects. And I'm going to do walkthrough videos, painting videos on each of these different techniques. So stay tuned for those in the future. So that's kind of where we sit. Now, as far as the base is concerned, I own 2 mats by Playmats out of Poland, and one is a kind of a Mars color and the other one's desert. And I thought those would both be very fitting for Ultramarines and Necrons. So I did up 2 bases just on some MDF board, just to kind of see what colors I liked. And after trying to match the Mars table, I actually really liked the desert style better, and the colors that I had kind of matched it better. The Mars one's much more darker red, and it's got blacks in it, and I just wasn't quite sure how dark I wanted to make the bases. So I think the desert will make the Ultramarines blue armor pop more, and the metallic of the Necron Warriors pop as well. So I ended up going with the desert after doing my tests. And these are the colors that I actually played around with. So we got Games Workshop's technical paints is what I played with, and I ended up going with this Armageddon Dunes and Dust, and one's just basically thicker than the other. It's got more texture in it, more sand. So I went with this one. These were a little too light red that I was going for, almost like a terracotta. So these are the colors that I went with a dry brush to lighten it up. So now that we've gotten kind of week 1 out of the way, let's start talking about month 1. Let's start talking about month 2. And issue number 4 comes with a new gaming mat. So it's a much bigger gaming mat. Folds out. It's double-sided. So that'll give us some new play opportunities here. Let me kind of open up. You can see you got a cool kind of snowy with some buildings, and then you have kind of this actually ironically a Mars looking ruins. Maybe I should go with the Mars look. So that's cool, the new mat to play with. And then you get the Skopek destroyers, the tripod Necron destroyer looking dudes with the huge blades. And then there's also this Canaptic Plasmite, this little dude, I guess, that hangs around with them. So full sprue. And then of course the magazine, and just kind of flipping through the magazine, it's the same outline as everything else. It has your backgrounds, your assemblies, the story, how to build, painting. And it's cool because it shows you now that you get a new color, a new paint. It's starting to add that to your existing Necrons. Same thing with the Marines, because you do get a paint in issue 4, which is your lead belcher. So they're showing you now, hey, put the lead belcher on your Marines, on your Necrons, and your Rock'em Sock'em robots. And then using the new game mat, showing you more gameplay, which is quite cool. So a couple things to note, just to touch on them while I'm thinking of it. The magazine itself comes in a plastic bag, and one of the things I've noticed is most of the magazines are coming damaged. And I'm not crying about it, mainly because it's not like a collectible magazine or a magazine like a White Dwarf or War Games Illustrated or something like that I want to keep on the shelf and keep pristine. And I like to take care of my stuff. So this stuff does bother me when it shows up, but again, for the gameplay purposes and putting it in a binder, I think it'll be fine. But one of the things I also notice is because it comes in bags, the Necron Warriors, being as thin as they are in different areas, I've had a lot of broken pieces as well. I had 2 out of my 3 Necron warriors were broken at the legs, because there's no box, there's no protection for these things coming in the mail. So if I had a whingy, lame complaint so far out of the service, that's what I'm noticing, is that each shipment so far, stuff has showed up damaged, bent, crinkled, whatever. So issue number 5, we have again a feature. In this instance, it's going to be a Primaries Captain, and this is the only way you can actually get this captain. So he's pretty cool. Goes through very similar format. You know, background, rules of the game, weapons, putting together, you know, getting caught up with your painting, getting him base coated, and getting those colors that you already own on the miniature, and then being able to play some games with it using what has already shown up. So pretty standard format. And then, I'm not sure what this is. So that's cool. So a big kind of Necrons at War poster showing you all the sexiness, fighting Eldar, ironically, which don't even come in even the premium collection, but that's okay. It advertises, you know, what's coming next, so you get your aggressors next and some paints. So overall, pretty cool. And then here is your captain. The only thing, and I guess you could convert, the only thing that I'm not a big fan of is I actually like helmeted Marines, even leaders. So, I mean, I guess I could find a head and put it in there. But, painting one head here or there is not that big of a deal. But there's your captain. So, pretty cool. And, of course, you get all the bases that go with the miniatures. And then issue number 6, you get, obviously, your magazine. And again, just quickly going through it. Hey, check it out. You got your cool aggressors. You know, again, building, background, painting, getting caught up on your paint, saying, hey, these are the colors. And oh, hey, check it out. You get black in this edition. So make sure to add your black to all your Marines. So that's pretty cool. And then rules and scenario and how to play. So very standard. I really do enjoy this format. If I was a new gamer, I'd be eating this up. Absolutely. So pretty cool. And again, here are your aggressors. And looking at them, you get flamer options. So that's all I can actually see on there are the flamers. So if you wanted other options, well, they're not going to be available to you in this set. So you just get the flamers, which is okay. That's cool. There's a bolter on there. Oh, that goes on the base. So sorry, this is the first time I've actually seen this sprue. So pretty cool. So you get 3 aggressors. So it's pretty cool. Comes with the bases. And then, of course, you get your Abaddon or Abaddon Black, however you want to pronounce it. And then the last issue you get in this set is issue number 7. And this has a name generator for your Necrons and Marines. Since this set doesn't, so issue 7 doesn't actually come with any miniatures. So it's got a little different introduction. Painting. Now you're going to be using the colors. So you have white and Retributor armor and This is basing all your Retributor armor, and I thought there was one other color. Yeah, there's a gray that comes in it as well, so you get to use your gray. And looks like some new rules or additions to the existing miniatures that you're using, or at least how to play with them. New scenario. And then issue 8, 9, and 10, you get a whole bunch of Necrons, which is pretty cool. And that leader guy looks pretty sweet. And of course, more Necron warriors. You can't complain about that. So, and then the colors that you get, which I just mentioned, is Mechanicus Standard Gray, Retributor Armor, which is like a gold, and then Codex White. So those are your 3 colors. Now, you'll also get, in this set, an additional item, and this is cool because they do come in a separate baggie. You get some plastic cement, plastic glue, which is nice. Pair of snips or clippers for clipping your stuff off the sprues. And they're nice. They're tiny, but they're nice. And then you get this crazy little thing. Now, this isn't for setting your watch or open a battery compartment. This is actually a scraper. I actually have the bigger Citadel version of this in my previous purchases. So you can see it's basically the same exact thing, except it doesn't come with a cool handle. You can actually even see that hole is exactly where the screw goes. So, and this is great because it doesn't dull. The only drawback to this is you can see on the end, it's not very pointed, and it's very, very difficult to get in small cracks and crevices to clean miniatures. So I still end up having to use a hobby knife. But if you don't want to wear out your blades cleaning, this little thing is very handy. So I really like the fact that it does come with those tools and the glue. It really should come with issues 1 through 3 to get you going, to really have that complete hobbiness set up for you for success. Because in the end, you'd have to wait a month, if you didn't want to go out and buy something or already own it. So some of the timing on some of these things is a little wonky, particularly if this is your first introduction to the hobby. But overall, no complaints so far. I'm enjoying putting the models together. Now this month, which might be a short month, with it being, the 20th, 21st today, and April's issues may be coming right around the corner. So I'm going to try to do everything I can to get things assembled, primed, painted as quickly as I can. And then hopefully next month when I have an update, I'll show you where I'm at and maybe even have some painting videos. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out next month and leave your comments down below. And I'm excited to show you the next update. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.